Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window and another hot one all across north central Washington. Temperatures once again above normal for almost all of us. Lots of blue sky out there, as you can see as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from this afternoon from our Sky-Fi Tower camera. It's up on Wenatchee Heights. We call it the cross camera. East Wenatchee to your right, Wenatchee to the left, and it was a hot one, but the good news is it's going to go down. In fact, temperatures as we get into tomorrow will cool down. I'm thinking more in the upper 80s tomorrow and then probably lower to mid 80s. There's Wenatchee in the red right side of that graphic. 85, probably more like 88 on Saturday, and then we'll warm up into the 90s on Sunday. Moses Lake, you'll see a nice cool down as well. And then after that, we could be talking record-setting temperatures by the time we get into the middle of next week. More weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Chelan-Douglas Board of Health responds to the possibility of Chelan-Douglas schools reopening this fall amid COVID-19. The two Yakima suspects in the July 6th drive-by shooting in a central Wenatchee neighborhood now face trial in October. And a Malaga woman is accused of setting several small fires at her Stamil Creek home on Sunday. But first, we begin tonight. Multiple employees at the Walmart Supercenter tell NCWLIFE News that 17 workers there have tested positive for COVID-19 in roughly the last week. That number is as of yesterday. Employees speaking on condition of anonymity told NCWLIFE the Wenatchee store has been lax in enforcing facial masks, allowing workers with coronavirus to expose others on their teams. They also say when workers test positive for the virus, the store has not told their team members. The superstore at 2000 North Wenatchee Avenue employs roughly 200 people. The Chelan-Douglas Health District said yesterday it's so far unaware of any COVID-19 clusters there. A Walmart corporate spokesperson wouldn't confirm the reports from inside the store. He says the company's nationwide policy requires the use of masks by all associates and customers and says the company is, quote, taking all measures necessary to safeguard the well-being of those inside our stores, fulfillment centers, and distribution centers, unquote. Well, it's 1 month away from the scheduled start of the school year, and the Wenatchee Valley's chief public health officer said it's time to start thinking of school as an essential business. Dr. Malcolm Butler, health officer for the Chelan-Douglas Health District, told the local Board of Health on Monday that in-class instruction has the potential to further spread COVID-19, and districts and families need to be prepared.
What I can tell you is we've now started working with the ESD and our school districts, all of whom are working very diligently on safe reopening plans. I can tell you that nobody is as concerned as these professionals are about the health and safety of their kids and their staff. I've been very impressed by the amount of work and concern that's going on as they're preparing. My thoughts on this are that we need to prioritize classroom education as an essential service. I believe that everybody in the educational profession and the pediatricians believe that there really is not a good substitute for classroom teaching, especially in the earlier ages. We need to make educators essential workers, and we need to assure that as essential workers, schools get onto the emergency management PPE distribution list, just like nursing homes, hospitals, and ambulance services. We are not there yet. We are beginning to ring that bell, but I believe that's critical because we're not going to be able to safely reopen schools without sufficient PPE. The second thing I want to leave you with, or thought I want to leave you with, is that schools can be an accelerator of COVID-19. So remember, kids tend to tolerate this well. It appears that they do contract and spread COVID just like adults, although there is some early indication that perhaps younger children are less likely to transmit the disease. But the point is, when the incidence in our community is low, so if we're down below 25 cases per 100,000 per 14 days, the impact that schools would have is low. It is unlikely that kids would contract it and unlikely that they would be in school with it just because the total volume of disease in our community is low. The problem is when the disease burden is high, then schools become an accelerator. So schools are a place where kids intermingle, pass the virus back and forth, and then take it home, and take it home potentially to medically frail or vulnerable people, and or take it home to their parents or siblings who may be working in healthcare or as caregivers for the medically frail. So I want you to think about schools like wind on a wildfire. So schools are the wind, COVID is the fire. If the fire is not burning very high, we can tolerate a lot of wind. But if it's burning pretty briskly, that wind is going to spread it all over the place. And that's our concern about schools. So we have to look upon schools and the essential work of getting kids back into classrooms. That's only going to happen if we can get the incidence down. So getting the incidence down is going to allow businesses to reopen, and it's going to allow schools to have kids in classrooms, which is essential.
The two Yakima suspects in the July 6th drive-by shooting in a central Wenatchee neighborhood face trial in October. 20-year-old Alexander Lopez and 26-year-old Juan Mendoza Rodriguez are both charged with first-degree assault in the shooting that left one victim with a wound to his leg. Lopez allegedly admitted firing a rifle at another moving vehicle near Douglas and Idaho streets. Both suspects remain jailed on $1 million bond. A Malaga woman is accused of setting several small fires at her Stamilk Creek home on Sunday. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say Penny Lynn Kirk, who's 43, started 5 fires outside near the porch in the 4300 block of Stamilk Creek Road about 5:45 a.m. The alleged arson was part of a domestic dispute, and Kirk now faces possible charges of arson with a domestic violence component. Local firefighters were able to extinguish the flames, and they didn't spread beyond that property. Well, coming up next, DeMilt is facing a federal lawsuit over alleged threats to H-2A guest workers. Irrigation water is once again fully flowing in the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District after a broken pump last Friday forced the district to cut off water on alternating days for customers. Chelan County PUD Commissioner Randy Smith has been named chairman of the Policymakers Council, a national group that advocates for public power utilities in Washington, D.C. And it's probably not the best idea to park in the boss's parking spot on your first day of work. We'll tell you more about that. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
Don't worry, all the fun is around the corner. There's no better time to get ready than now with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa Sale. Stock Up and Save sale is now going on in-store and online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Even pool heaters are on sale. Financing available upon approval. Credit 24-month, no interest with equal payments. Stop by today or order online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Free water testing available in store or curbside. Don't wait, the sale is going on now.
Welcome back. In another news, 2 Mexican farm workers have launched a class action lawsuit against milk growers, saying managers for the fruit giant threatened to fire them if they didn't meet harvest quotas. Columbia Legal Services, the nonprofit law foundation representing the plaintiffs, says the 2 men went to work for Stamilt Ag Services in 2017 on H-2A guest worker visas. While there, they say their contract was changed without federal approval, and they were routinely threatened with firing if they didn't fill a certain number of bins of apples per day. Stamilt has yet to file a response to that lawsuit. Irrigation water is once again fully flowing in the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District after a broken pump last Friday forced the district to cut off water on alternating days for customers. About 1,200 of those customers at a time in the East Wenatchee area were without water as the district took turns supplying water to the east and west sides of the district. The faulty pump was repaired by Monday and installed by 3 a.m. By 3 a.m. Tuesday, but still didn't function properly. It was sent back to the Tri-Cities for more work and arrived back in East Wenatchee Tuesday evening. District Manager Mike Miller said the pump was back in operation by 5:30 yesterday, but he advised customers not to get carried away and to use that water wisely. Chelan County PUD Commissioner Randy Smith has been named chairman of the Policymakers Council. That's a national group that advocates for public power utilities in Washington, D.C. The Policymakers Council is comprised of 45 elected or appointed officials and meets twice a year in the nation's capital. Smith has been on the council for the past 8 years. He's been the District 2 Commissioner on the PUD board since 2006. Well, it's probably not the best idea to park in the boss's parking spot on your first day of work, but that's what a Washington State Patrol Trooper cadet did this week in Wenatchee. Trooper John Bryant playfully posted a picture of the infraction on Instagram, wondering if the cadet on his first day of field training should have known the unmarked parking space belonged to the district commander, or whether his field training officer should have warned him. Bryant didn't document the district commander's reaction. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's featured story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's featured story, we once again take you to the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, where they've produced a series of 6 videos so far called Curator's Corner, with collections coordinator Anna Spencer showing off treasures from Wenatchee's past. Tonight, she offers a look back at the historic flight of Miss Vidal.
Welcome back to Curator's Corner. I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheets. Hello! Today we're going to go in through the museum archives and getting out some items that highlight Miss Vidal and her historic flight, including some items that belong to Clyde Pangborn. Let's go! The items that we're highlighting today come from Japan, and they are commemorating the 60th anniversary of the Miss Vidal flight.
And what's in the can?
The can is Japanese beer.
Huh.
And on it has world's first non-stop trans-Pacific flight, 1931, Misawa, Japan, to Wenatchee, USA.
So these are from 1991?
1991, yes. And that is the beer can, and then this is the bottle of sake. And it has the flight path with Miss Vidal in it. It's a sister city, Wenatchee, Misawa.
Huh. Did they sell these?
I don't believe so. I think they were just given out as commemorative items.
Huh.
You
Very
know,
interesting.
You know what goes good with beer and wine?
What?
A sandwich. The item that we're going to highlight today also coincides with the historic Miss Vidal flight. It comes in this box. It's wrapped in cellophane, and it is a sandwich belonging to Clyde Pangborn.
A sandwich.
A sandwich.
Half a sandwich.
Half a sandwich, yes. This sandwich is said to have gone on the historic flight with Clyde Pangborn and Hugh Herndon, starting in Japan, landing in East Wenatchee. And it was wrapped and kept in a tin can.
And we have the tin can?
And we have it today.
So this sandwich is from 1931.
This sandwich is from 1931.
My bread doesn't last a week.
Yes, it's very dried out. But also...
Do we know what kind of sandwich it is?
I don't. It is not clarified.
So it's a Japanese sandwich?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can we see the tin?
Yes. It is a cut plug tobacco tin. This is what the sandwich came in.
But it's not been stored in that.
No, it's been stored in a box and then air sealed in a bag. But taken out for your view.
Can I see the sides? Oh, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time to see what cool and exciting things we find in our collection.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those very hot details, let's take a look outside our weather window. And what a nice one this afternoon. Winds did pick up a little bit around North Central Washington today, but lots of sunshine and still temperatures above normal throughout North Central Washington as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera on Wenatchee Heights. And thank you to LocalTel and Sky5 for providing this great shot today. Temperature-wise, it got pretty warm once again. 93 our unofficial high temperature. That's above 89 is where we should be for this time of year. 72 is where we started the day this morning. 63 the overnight low normal temperature. Look at that record high, one of the warmest we have ever recorded here in Wenatchee. 107 degrees back in 1994. Record low 49 in 1982. Sunrise now at 5:28 and the sun will set tonight at 8:46. Let's take a peek at how our Thursday will shape up. And I think for all of you, the folks out there that are tired of this hot weather, a little bit better for you tomorrow. Around 90 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Upper 80s then for Wenatchee, Cashmere, Eniat, and Chelan. Head up to Lake Wenatchee tomorrow for a little bit cooler weather. Their high temperature around 82 tomorrow. Tonight, once again, we're going to see mostly clear skies. We're going to continue with those breezy conditions right through the central part of the state. We're talking 10 to 15 mile an hour wind with clear skies tonight, and it will be another mild one too with lows between 65 and 70. For Thursday, maybe our windiest day. We'll see a wind 10 to 20 miles an hour for tomorrow. A little bit cooler too. There is just a weak storm system right here that's moving through the state. Very weak, and that will cool our temperatures down into probably the upper 80s for Thursday, and we'll go a little bit cooler than that even, or I should say mid 80s for Thursday. A little bit warmer for Friday with highs back into the upper 80s, about where we should be for this time of year. Still a little bit breezy, but really not bad most most of the wind on Friday will be over in the Spokane area. For Saturday, sunny skies, a great way to start our weekend. Look at all the clear skies around Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. We will see temperatures seasonal. Remember, that's about 89 degrees or so, and it's going up from there as we get into Sunday. Sunny skies. Another heat wave will begin on Sunday, and folks, this is a stronger one than the one that we're seeing right now, so get ready for some just scorching temperatures. Sunday, we're talking temps in the mid to upper 90s, temperatures near 100 on Monday with mostly sunny skies. Notice the dark deep red, and that indicates temperatures around 100. We will see that on Tuesday. In fact, we could see record-setting temperatures on Tuesday. Clear skies all the way back from the Great Lakes into the western United States, and high temperatures. Folks, that's red. We're talking 105 degrees probably for the Tri-Cities on Tuesday, and we could see temperatures in the Wenatchee area around 101 and maybe even going up from there past our 7-day forecast. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 64 tonight, 88 tomorrow, 84 on Friday. A nice one if you want that cooler weather. 88 your high temperature on Saturday. Sunday, 95. And there we go on Monday and Tuesday. 100 on Monday and 101 your high on Tuesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. There will be football this school year, but it won't be this fall. The WIAA Executive Board voted Tuesday to create 4 sports seasons for high schools across the state and move football, volleyball, and girls soccer, that's normally in the fall, to the spring. Board President Greg Whitmore, who is also the football coach and athletic director at Lynn Ritzville Sprague High School, says it certainly wasn't an easy decision, but had to be made.
We know that the decisions we make impact a lot of kids, a lot of coaches, a lot of districts. And so what we really focus on is making decisions on what we know. And I think today was kind of an example of that. We all felt, and I can't say we know anything for sure, but I don't think there was anyone in the boardroom, or at least on our Zoom call or virtual boardroom, that felt we could get the high-risk sport of football played this fall. We're just not in a position, doesn't look like the state of COVID and everything else was going to be allow us to do that. Volleyball, the same thing. As you can see in our season 1, we've kept some low, what are characterized or categorized as low-risk sports as options. And we know those are in great peril too. A lot of things have to happen in our favor in order for those to happen. And so we discussed that, but we decided to provide some clarity for our member schools, our athletic directors, our leagues, our districts, our superintendents that are trying to reopen their schools and decide what they're doing. We want to provide that clarity, and that's why we made the decision to postpone football and volleyball and soccer to the spring.
Taking a look at the Four Seasons, the plan is to go ahead with cross-country, slow-pitch softball, golf, tennis, and girls swim and dive this fall, September 7th through November 8th. Season 2 won't begin until after January 4th, after the holidays. That will run January 4th through March 1st and include basketball, bowling, boys swim and dive, gymnastics, cheerleading, and wrestling. Season 3 would include football, volleyball, girls soccer, and boys 1B, 2B soccer, and run from March 1st through May 2nd. Finally, the traditional spring season would be Season 4 under the WIAA's plan, running from April 26th through June 27th and include tennis, fast-pitch softball, track and field, baseball, golf, boys soccer, and dance and drill. Now, the last month, the WIAA categorized sports in low, moderate, and high risk levels. WIAA Executive Director Mick Hoffman explains how they match those risk levels up with the state's Safe Start plan.
How these sports and activities are determined, they came from the National Federation of High Schools SMAC committee. Their Sports Medicine Advisory Committee made the initial recommendations. We took their recommendations, we melded those with Governor Inslee's, and then we submitted them to the governor's office and the Department of Health. We are under the guidelines of the Department of Health. So essentially, for us to be able to offer one of the low-risk sports, which are the one for the fall are the ones listed on that document, the county has to be in phase 3 for them to be able to compete. For a moderate sport to be able to compete, you have to be in phase 4. And for the high risk, which is football, wrestling, competitive cheer, competitive dance, wind instruments, solo ensemble, you have to be a phase 4+, and phase 4+ has yet to be determined. And so with 22 of our 39 counties in phase 2 or 1.5, and we're frozen till July 28th, it made the September 5-7 for anything other than low risk sports challenge.
You can head to our website to watch the entire press conference from last night. Just go to NCWLIFE.com. Well, while teams await the arrival of rookies to training camp this week, the NFL is doing what it can to help protect its players from coronavirus. In fact, the NFL has worked with Oakley, the sunglass company, to develop a shield that attaches to the face masks of helmets. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson was a guest on Jimmy Kimmel Live Tuesday, guest hosted by Joel McHale, and discussed wearing masks.
You think the helmet with a mask will work?
That's going to be crazy if we have to do that. You know, I've actually been practicing with it, though, every day just so I can get used to it if we have to. But, you know, we're already out there already, you know, so it's a little bit late maybe for that. But,
yeah.
You know, so I think that, you know, we can't take this time for granted in sense of, you know, health and safety. You know, it's such an important time. You know, it's really, really important that we do it the right way at the highest level. And, you know, and so I think that's what the concern is, you know, especially for families. And see, like I said, you know, the other day is, you know, she's pregnant, you know, and we're going to have a new baby in the world at some point here. And I know there's so many others, too, that have family and loved ones and everything else. So at the end of the day, we want to play. We want to play, and we want to be, you know, us Seahawks, we want to go to the Super Bowl and win it all. So that's our focus, but we want to do it in a safe way.
Now, if you're wondering why McHale was in a hot tub and Russell Wilson was in a swimming pool, McHale thought it would be a good idea to have a pool party. Wilson and the rest of the Seahawks expected to report to training camp next Tuesday. Well, the Mariners played another intra-squad game last night at T-Mobile Park. Another good night at the plate for Kyle Lewis. He hit a 2-run home run. That's his 4th of the summer so far. Seattle plays one more intra-squad game tonight before flying to Houston tomorrow to prepare for the season opener on Friday. Marco Gonzalez will be the opening day starter. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. Red Bull.